I'm really excited to have this opportunity to welcome you into our developmental math program, where our primary goal is to help you prepare to be successful in credit level classes. So we've created this program for you that helps you to become a more independent learner with strong note-taking, study skills, and things like that. So I hope that you will be an active participant in your journey towards success in both math classes and other classes. Let me give you a quick tour of the course to hopefully help you feel comfortable with it, and then there will be two other videos that focus specifically on how to use the eText and guided notebook, which is video 2, and video 3 will help you focus in on specifically how to do your homework. So let's get started with just a quick tour, and then I encourage you to go into your own course and click around and see what you can find. The very first page that is important is the announcement page that is on the main screen under Course Home when you come in. Often your instructors will post announcements that help you stay on track. You will have a pace that you need to keep in order to finish your course in the allotted amount of time. So make sure to keep a watch of these announcements because that's where your instructor can communicate with you. A couple examples, we have our welcome announcement, but for example, if you just click on the little plus sign, that will expand the announcement, and this announcement happens to be about what you do if you are a returning student into the program. So do take a chance each time you log in to see if there are any new announcements that are posted, and the announcements will change and go away as they become irrelevant. So that's the course homepage. I'm just going to travel down the left side of the buttons here, and so that you can see what each area will help you do. So the first one is the course home, and that is where you would have your announcements. The second button that is important to you is the MyMathLab Help and Support. I would take the opportunity to write this phone number inside your guided notebook so that you have it when you're having technical issues. For example, if you go home on your computer and you're struggling to get MathLab working on your computer, that is a technical issue that the MathLab Tech Support can hopefully help with. That is a 24/7 tech, and that is underneath My Grades is where your grades for the course will show up. A couple of important things. First of all, the overall score that you will sometimes see. Right now I have a score of 0, so I haven't done very well yet, but the overall score here does not indicate your progress because our course contains all of the modules MTE 1 through 9 and including BSK1, and so what that overall score means is how you've done in all 10 of those modules, and not all students need all 10 and very few students need all 10. So the overall score is not anything that you need to even use. But what you will see in this list right here will be a list of all assignments that you have completed and your scores. Also, what will show up about where I am pointing now is a review button that will allow you to review quizzes that you have submitted and have been graded. Make sure that when you click on the review button, you are only using that to review. It will allow you to put answers in, but it will not save those answers because you are in review mode. So anytime you go in through My Grades, you should use the review button just to see your results. The next button that we'll take a look at is the course kit. The course kit is where we house all of the kind of paperwork that you will need for the course. Many of this is available to you in your guided notebook or through your instructor, but here are additional copies as well. Likewise, at this point, I will point over to this button in the top right called Doc Sharing, and in Doc Sharing there are much of the same information located under Student Resources. So if you click under Doc Sharing and then Student Resources, you will see very much the same information in that list. The difference is that in Doc Sharing, you can download those as actual PDF or Word files, and you can print them, etc. Whereas over here under Course Kit, typically when we click on them, for example, if I click on the checklist, it's going to pop up in the screen. It's not going to be beautifully printable. So if you want a print copy, I encourage you to come over here to Doc Sharing. The other items down this left side, let's see if there's any that might need mentioning. Developmental Math Syllabus, that would be what you discuss with your instructor, as well as the pacing guide. I would certainly hone in on the fact that the pacing guide is the minimum pacing you need to maintain in order to finish the course in 4 weeks. The Day 1 student checklist you've already received, and most likely that is how you got to this point of watching this video. I would like to reference the current student fact sheet, because in that fact sheet it talks a lot about how this course works, how it works regarding your financial aid and your grades. It also talks about your future in math classes and what we offer. So please use this current fact sheet to supplement your syllabus with more information about the logistics as well as the future in math at Germanna. And the other things are kind of things you might need, like how to change your schedule if you don't happen to finish. So these are all different documents. I encourage you to click on them and be aware of what is here. Here also is the guided notebook, the one that you received in the textbook. So if by chance some pages get damaged or you need to replace it, you can simply pick the MTE, click on that, and print it. I would encourage you to print it front back because they can be somewhere over 40 pages. I want to focus in on the last two here. The multimedia library and the study plan are both related to the textbook. So when you are looking for something in here, you're not going to use your MTE numbers, you are going to use the textbook area. So for example, if you wanted something on, let's see, solving equations, so you could just click on that, which is not necessarily MTE3, it could be, but this is related to the textbook. And then you can click on, I want to solve linear equations with one variable, and you want all. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you all the resources that are available in the textbook to help you on that material. So there's actually a PowerPoint for that. There are some little videos, and there is the textbook itself. So again, if you're just looking for specific help on a topic, you might consider going to the multimedia library. You will be seeing all these again when we talk about your guided notebook. The study plan is another feature that is textbook based, but it provides you additional practice on things that you might be struggling with. And so you would click on View All Chapters. And let's say we were still working on those equations. So let me do a drop down here, and I'm having trouble with solving equations in one variable. So I can click on that. And now what it does is it gives me a set of problems as well as videos that accompany that problem. And we'll be talking about this next screen when I talk about how to do your homework, because this looks very much like a homework screen. But these problems are going to help you specifically on the topic that you have picked. The neat thing about the study plan is we have something called Newton, and Newton is like Big Brother that's looking over your shoulder. If Newton puts an orange push pin in your study plan, then what that means is Newton feels like that's an area that you need to work on based on the answers that you have been giving in your different assignments. So right now in my course, Newton only thinks that I need to make sure to do my orientation questions for students, because that's going to help me prepare for the course. When I have mastered that, Newton's going to put a little graduation cap. So this is a good place for you to keep track of things that you're struggling with. Newton's also going to pick up on the fact that maybe you're struggling with fractions even though you're trying to solve equations. Maybe it's not the equations giving you the trouble, it's the fractions giving you the trouble. So the study plan is a great tool to use when you want to hone in on specific topics that are bothering you. The next button is under Tools for Success. Tools for Success are different forms of resources that you can use to help you through the course. And so again, I encourage you to click through each of these, but we have all of the tutoring information here for you. And I want to highlight Smart Thinking. Smart Thinking has been provided by the college, and you get hours each semester that you can use for any of your courses, and they do support our work in MathLab. So that is free for you to use, and you can certainly use that anytime, 24/7, which is nice because if you don't have a teacher available at the time, you could use that Smart Thinking tutoring. This link here will take you to the Tutoring Center website that will give you all the instructions. So I encourage you to go down through and see all the different buttons that we offer, or all the different resources. When you need Germanna technical support, here's the link. If you're a distance learning student, here's that link, and so on. So these are all the resources. We also have a set of study skills, and study skills are one of those things that everybody can benefit from some review of those, and so these items are here. So as much as you want to put into improving your student profile overall, we have materials here to help you with that. Under Communicate and Connect is where your instructor might choose to use discussion board. If not, that may be turned off depending on the class structure. Likewise, there is an email option where you can send your instructor an email directly through the program here. Your email address is your Germanna email address, so when the instructor replies, the reply will go to your Germanna account. So this email is a sending email only, and all replies will go to your Germanna account. I'll point up here again to the top right. You can notice that there's a direct email button right there. So email and doc sharing are the two items that you would typically use in the top right corner, but they are also located on the left side. The next one is Getting Started, and you have hopefully already gone to Getting Started by clicking on this video. But before you start working on the course, you will need to follow the steps through the student checklist, and from there, or included in there, you will do the 3 videos and the orientation exercises. And as you do that, that will hopefully orient you to the entire course and help you feel comfortable once you have gone through an entire first rotation of your checklist. The rest of the buttons, if you notice, will be our BSK1 and MTE 1 through 9. These are our MTE courses that you may or may not be required to take before you can take credit courses. And each one is set up exactly the same. So I'm going to click on MTE 1, but please know that MTE 1 through 9 and BSK 1 are all set up the same. Within each MTE, there will always be a pretest. Then there will be a certain number of units that you have to complete. Then there will be a course review, which is comprehensive for all the units. You will take an exam, and then if you don't pass your exam, you will do exam corrections. So the first thing, or one of the first things you're going to do in class, is take the pretest. If you were to score an 80% or higher on the pretest, you are done with that course and may proceed to the next course. However, do not let that stress you in the sense that, well, what if I don't make an 80? If you don't make an 80, that simply means you're in the right place. It gives us some insight on what you do and don't know already, and you simply move on to completing the course work. But for those that might know the material already, it gives you an opportunity to show us that. Next, I'm going to click on one of the units. I'll click on Unit 1.1. But again, all of the units are set up exactly the same. So you will see these 5 buttons. The first 2 buttons have to do with our e-text and our guided notebook. And in video 2, I will be addressing the e-text and guided notebook. So buttons 1 and 2, I will cover in video 2. And that's where you're going to read your material, develop your notes, and then take an assessment or reading quiz on that. Button number 3 will take you straight to your homework assignment, and video number 3 will help us understand how to do homework. So when you click on the read or interact, it's going to take us right to the e-text. When you click on homework, it's going to take you right to the homework. And likewise, we have practice quiz and quizzes. All of these are done a combination of in class and at home. There are only a few occasions where you cannot do the material by yourself at home, and that is the pre-test, the post-test, and a quiz. MTE2 and MTE3 each have one quiz that must be done in the presence of your instructor. So otherwise, all of this work, all of these 5 buttons can be done at home. And so the student checklist is going to take you through step by step. So that is the layout of the course. What's very important at this point is to, number 1, stay on track. So your first week is very important to try to be completely on track by the end of week 1. The second thing is to follow the checklist. So make sure to go through the student checklist, which again is listed here under Course Kit. And if you see right now you're on video 1, explore the course. You will then watch some other videos. You will complete your first section of e-text and guided notebook. You will then take the reading quiz, step 2. After watching the homework video, you'll do your first homework. And then you have your practice quiz and quiz. So this checklist will take you step by step so that you can make it successfully through your first unit, and then you can work to stay on track. The second thing, or important thing to remember, is communication is critical. Your instructors are available both in class and via email and in any other way that they are willing to communicate with you. So please communicate with your instructors when you have questions and work to get on track and learning the material to learn it for life, and so that you can carry it forward into your credit classes. I wish you all much success. We look forward to being part of that with you. Good luck with your studies and work hard. I know and trust that you all can do well.